All right. I need to... Okay. All right, sorry, technical difficulties. Okay, lesson 7, multiplying decimal numbers, dividing decimal numbers, and estimation. Okay, so like I said, we're building. We're always going to build. So we know how to multiply regular numbers. We know how to divide regular numbers, numbers without decimals. And now we're going to figure out how to do those with decimals. Okay, so we're on page 27. I need all eyes there. The bottom of 27, we've got our first paragraph, multiplying decimal numbers. Okay, so multiplication of decimal numbers is similar to multiplication of whole numbers. When we multiply decimals, we do not need to align the decimal points. You guys have told me that before. We first do the multiplication as if the decimal points were not present, and then we add the number of decimal places, so count the number of decimal places from the right, in both of the factors to find the position of the decimal for the product. Okay? Like I said, I think you guys have done this before, but we're going to review it just in case. So 4.12 times 63.2. So Damon, I'm going to start with you today. 63.2, where do I need to put that?
You don't have to line your decimals.
Don't have to line up my decimals. Good. So I can just put 63.2 really anywhere I want to do it, right? All right. Do my math for me here. 4.
2.
2.
8.
8.
0.
0. That's my placeholder. Good.
6.
6.
12.
Careful.
3.
3. And then
12.
12. Good.
0.
0.
0.
0.
12.
2. Carry my 1.
7.
7.
24.
24. Beautiful. Then we add them all together, right?
4.
Keep going. Beautiful.
8. 13.
Good.
10. 5 and 6. 2.
Okay. Am I finished?
Nope.
No? What do I need to do?
Decimals.
Decimals, right? So we're going to count how many decimal spots?
Behind the 0.
I'm sorry?
Behind the 0.
Behind the 0. Good. So Damon counted here. We've got 1, 2, 3, right? So here you did 1, 2, 3. If you do want to count with your bubbles like that, just do me a favor and rewrite your answer so there's no confusion, okay? So, 260.384. Beautiful. If we had estimated 63 times 4, so what would you make 63 into maybe? Still you?
Huh?
Still your turn. What would you make if we wanted to estimate to check our work? 63.2, we could make that into about what? 60. And 4.12 you might make into?
4.2.
Okay, 4.1, let's completely knock off any decimals. The easiest number you can come up with for 4.12 would be?
41. 40.
Careful, you got to have the same value. So 4.1, we don't want to change that to 40. 4.1, 4, perfect. So 60 times 4, we can just do that multiplication, right? And then add on our 0. So what is 60 times 4, Damon? 2, say it again?
24. 60 times 4.
Uh-huh. 6 times 4?
240.
240, perfect. I thought that's what you said, I just wanted to check. And that looks pretty close, right? Both of them were bigger, so we know our number's going to be bigger. So, that, our estimation, looks good. Glasses. Will you take Alex to him also? Thank you. All right. So, looking good. Any questions on that? No? All right, perfect. All right. Let's turn our page. We've got example 7.2. Destiny, will you talk us through 7.2? We've got 6.78 times 0.0537. So we don't need to line up our decimals. So we can just do our multiplication.
8 times 7 is 56.
Good.
7 times 7 is 40.
again, sorry.
7 times 5 is 35.
There we go. 39.
6 times 5 is 30. Plus 3 is 33.
And then we add them all up. Keep going.
6, 8, 10, 14, 6, 3.
Good. We finished?
No.
Nope. What do we need to do?
Add your decimal place.
Okay, count them up. How many do you have?
6,
6. Good. How many here?
2,
2 here and
4.
4 here. So we need to take 6 down here. So when I move it 6 times, where do I end up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So again, if you do the humps, just rewrite it for me. Beautiful. Any questions on that? We're good? Alright, easy enough. You guys have that in the bag. So now we come to dividing our decimal numbers. Okay, here's where it's going to get a tiny bit tricky, but I have faith that you guys have this and we'll get it completely. Okay? So Damon, will you read us that, oh, I already called you, Portia, will you read us that first paragraph to divide?
Mm-hmm. What page?
28. Uh-huh.
To divide by a decimal number, we first move the decimal point in the divisor to the right to make the divisor a whole number. Then the decimal point and the dividend must be moved to the right. The same number of places the decimal point and the answer is placed just above the decimal point and the dividend.
Good. So I know we have another paragraph. We'll get to that one in a second. I just want to make sure that we understand what that means. So it says to divide 0.084. I'm going to let it stay on you. Portia, is this the number under the tent or outside of the tent?
This is the number under the tent.
Under the tent or outside the tent?
Under the tent.
Under the tent. Good. Divided by 0.35. Okay? So, what Portia just told us.
Mm-hmm.
What is this?
There's some lip gloss. She needs some lip gloss.
Okay. Let's not do that during class. If you need some, get it afterwards, okay?
Well, your lips be cracking.
Okay.
You want me to talk to you? My lips crack.
Okay.
Okay, come on.
Okay. So, Portia read us. We are always going to look at the number outside the tent. All eyes up here. Okay? Outside the tent. So how many places does this one have? Jamaica, how many places does this decimal need to be moved in order to make us a whole number here? 2. Exactly. This 0 is just kind of an assumed 0. We're going to need to move our decimal place there. Okay? So I like for us to rewrite it. If we move it to here, what did Portia's paragraph tell us? Do you remember? Not yet?
We move the paragraph, but we move what to where?
If you move this decimal 2 spots to get a whole number, you also need to move this decimal spot the same number of times you did it out here. Okay? That's what our paragraph told us. So we're going to move this 2 times. So our new number under our tent is 8.4. Okay? Does that make sense? However many times you move it out here, you move it over here as well. Okay? So, like I said, we rewrite it so there's no confusion about the decimal spot. Very important. Portia, you going to rewrite it?
Yeah.
Yes. Good. Alright, so then we know the decimal point just needs to go straight up. Make sure you send your decimal point up from wherever it is in division, right? Okay, so Jamaica, let's do this math. How many 35s in 8? None. Good. How many 35s in 84? If you want to pick a number and try it, that always works for me. What do you want to try? 2? Okay. So 35
Go in that 2 times.
goes in there 2 times? She's certain of it. Okay, so 2 times 35. 2 times 5.
10.
Good. Carry my 1. 2 times 3.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 6.
6 plus that 1.
7.
Yeah, 7.
7. Good. Okay, and then same thing, we subtract. So how many do you have left?
4, 1, 14.
What's your name, Jamaica? Jamaica?
14.
14. Okay, and that works, right? Because that's less than our 35. Alright, so 2 And let's double check. We are going to go to 2 decimals at least, okay? So now, instead of remainders, because we have a decimal to begin with, we're going to give it actual decimal values, okay? So, we're changing away from remainders, when we've got division like this, into actual decimal numbers, okay? No more remainders, all decimals, yes?
So when it's the decimals, let's say I had 0.2, and I got 14 left over, so I'm gonna move my decimal 1 behind the 2.
Nope, we never, once we've got our decimals set up in our division, we never want to move it. It goes straight up. What we do after that is we can just add zeros. However many zeros you're going to need, those are just extra zeros, so you know to drop a 0 down. So it's going to be 0.2 something. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question? Yes? Okay. So now we have to figure out how many 35s go in 140, because we can just add a 0. Once you've got a decimal, those zeros, remember yesterday I told you when you rounded, you could just knock those off. They don't really mean anything, right? They're just showing us what we've got to work with when we drop numbers down, right? Make sense? Damon, you good on this? Yes? Alright, it's up here, please. Alright, so, Jamaica, how many 35s do you think are in 140? What do you want to try? 4? Let's try 4. 35 times 4. 5 times 4? 3 times 4? 14. How does that look? Great. It looks perfect even, right? Because we have how much of a remainder? None, exactly. So that means that we don't need those 2 zeros because this is the exact answer. 8.4 divided by 35 is exactly 0.24. Make sense?
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Yes? No? Come on? Does it make sense? You good on this? Yes, Destiny? Yes? Alright, perfect. So let's just make sure that next little paragraph, this procedure makes the division easier to do. So we're doing this to make our division easier. Yes, ma'am?
Your Toshiba went off.
That's okay. Makes the division easier to do and also makes the division easier to think about. It's way easier to think about this than it is to have this crazy mess up here. And then trying to figure out where that decimal goes and all that jazz. Right? So, we're making our lives easier by moving our decimal out of our dividend. Right? Or divisor? Dividend. Divisor. Wrong way. Whoops. Okay? Good. We've got another example. Divide 21 by 0.5. So Jamaica went, Damon's up. Damon, we're on example 7.4. It tells me to divide 21 by 0.5. So is my 21 under my tent or outside? Under. And what goes on the outside? 0.5. But we just decided to make our lives easier. We were going to move decimal places. One time. Left or right? That way's left.
Right.
That way's right. Good. Always right. Right? One time. So that means over here what happens? Careful. Where is our assumed decimal? When we don't have one show, it's always
behind.
at the end. So if we don't have a decimal point written, it's always all the way to the right. It's always behind your last number. Okay? So we assume it to be right there. If we moved it one to the right, what are we going to do here now? Eyes up here, Jamaica.
If I go into the other one 4 times.
Say it again.
If I go into the other.
Okay, we got to work on our decimal point before we can do our division. So if we move our decimal point